Hey, what's up, Berklee? This is Hailie Hay from Forrest, here without my boys to play a toned-down version of Drew Snow from our first EP called Temper. I'm super excited to be here, and thanks so much for having me. Here's Drew Snow.
So small. If I could still see you in my sleep, oh, why do I wake up here at all? I've been hating me, mistaking me for someone that I once was. Lately I've been hating me, mistaking me for someone that you could love. Thanks. said, fair maid, will you marry me? This then, sir, was her reply. Oh no, kind sir, I cannot marry thee, for I've a love who sails out on the sea. He's been gone for 7 years, still no man shall marry me. What if he's in some battle slain, or drowned it in the deep salt sea? What if he's found another love, and he and his love both married be? Well, if he's in some battle slain, I will die when the moon doth wane. If he's drowned in the deep salt sea, I will be true to his memory. And if he's found another love, and he and his love both marry me, I wish them health and happiness where they dwell across the sea. Picked her up all in his arms, and kisses gave her 1, 2, 3, saying, weep no more, my own true love. I am your long lost John Riley.
All right, go.
I will twine with my mingles of raven black hair, with the roses so red and the lilies so fair, the myrtle so bright with the emerald hue, and the pale amarita and ice lips so blue. I will dance, I will sing, and my laugh shall be gay. I will charm every heart, in his crown I will sway. When I woke from my dream, and all idols was clay, and all portions of loving had all flown away. taught me to love him and promised to love and to cherish me over all others above. How my poor heart is wondering, no misery can tell. He left me no warning, no words of farewell. Well, he taught me to love him and called me his flower that was blooming to cheer him through life's weary hour. How I long to see him and regret the dark hour. He's gone and neglected his fair wildwood flower.
Hi, Nina. How's it going?
Hello, Magdalena. It's going great. It's a beautiful day in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful day here in Vermont, too. It does not feel like fall or winter. It feels like a summer day, actually. I'm feeling pretty spoiled right now.
It's about like that here.
Nice. Awesome. And how long have you been based there?
Well, I was actually raised here. So I came here when I was 18 months old, and I've only left to go to Berklee. And after college, I lived in Georgia for a little while. So
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
been here most of my life.
Wow, that's amazing. So how did you like Boston after spending so much time in the South?
I love Boston. I miss it. I every once in a while have to say, I want to go back to Boston. I want to go visit at least. I haven't been able to come back since graduation. So.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope you find an excuse soon to come back up north.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited that you could join me today for a quick chat. I would love to hear more about your music and what you have going on. But first of all, I just want to check in. How have you been hanging in there with everything around the pandemic and its effect on the music industry?
Well, it is funny. In 2019, I spent most of my time on the road. My mother, my little dog, and we actually set out on the road and toured for the entire year. Living on the road. So close to April, we had come back through Nashville, and we were just about to go to New England, and I was going to play at the Club Passim and in the New Jersey Folk Festival, but then COVID hit and everything was canceled. Fortunately, I was actually just behind on booking, so when it hit, it really didn't affect me as much. It took the options off the table, but I really needed the time off the road, so. It's given me time to regroup, and we took an apartment in Nashville. So we had moved out of our house and everything. We were living basically in our car, hotel rooms, yurts, that kind of thing. It was very exciting, but I think I needed that time. So COVID provided that. So I released an album of songs called Fare Thee Well, a Joan Baez tribute, and I had been working on that throughout 2019. So it was great to be able to do that. And quite frankly, because we have the internet, it allows you to release things very easily. And although I wasn't able to have like a real in-person listening party or something like that, I was able to still get the music out there, sending it to radio. And radio is my legs anyway. Whenever I can't reach a certain region by touring, I send it to radio, and it kind of disperses the music in the area.
Yeah, it's so cool to hear that radio still has that reach, right? Wow, that's amazing that you've stayed so busy and you were still able to release this project of yours. And I've said to many musicians, aren't we glad that we are quarantined or locked down in 2020 instead of 1990? At least we can still communicate with each other and still reach wide audiences, many of whom are actually online more often nowadays. And so that's kind of nice. So you said that you played a live show just last Friday?
Yes.
That's amazing. What was that like?
Well, it was a Joan Baez tribute show, and she had played at this venue 7 years ago. So it was very special. It was outdoors and socially distanced. And so I like to have an audience that's like very near me because I like to be able to interact. So there was a little bit of distance that way, but it was actually a very uplifting time.
Very cool. I'm a huge fan of Joan Baez. Can you tell me more about what inspired you to do this project specifically?
Sure. In my teen years, I happened upon her music. I had been listening to Bruce Springsteen's Pete Seeger sessions, We Shall Overcome, and that was kind of my my branch into folk music at that point. And I started to listen to people like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez. And I loved her traditional songs. When she was, 18 to 20 something, she was recording all of these traditional English ballads and just various other kinds of songs from different countries. And this past year in 2019, she was going on her farewell tour. And because she had impacted me so much as an artist when I was a teenager, I wanted to be able to give back and say thank you for the music. So I recorded this album in light of that. And I actually recorded an original tribute song to Joan Baez called Fare Thee Well, Joan. Club 47, Fare Thee Well, Joan. It's a medley. And it tells about her, how she came up into the music world in Cambridge, working at the Club 47, which is the old Club Passim that moved around the corner. And then the second half of the song is about how I came to her music and has a little bit of a tribute to her fans who have been so supportive of her over the years. So
that's amazing. Well, I'm really excited to check it out. What is the best place for listeners to find this record?
You can find all of my music on my website. That's ninariccimusic.com. And I've got a special little store place for all of my music and some of my lyrics as well.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we'll definitely be sharing a link to your page and your socials, making sure that everyone can stay up to date on whatever you have cooked up next. How have you been spending your time this year when you haven't been playing shows? You had some breathing room from the road. Have you found yourself practicing more, writing more, or have you kind of taken a step away from music to focus on some other things?
That's a very good question. Well, I don't know how much you know about touring, but it definitely shuffles your life completely. Like we traveled in an SUV, so we had everything stacked in the back of the SUV. And if you wanted something, you always had to run to the back of the vehicle and try to remember where you put it. So you're reinventing the wheel every single day, and it can wear on you mentally. So getting off the road allowed me to be able to put clothes in a drawer, and I'd always know where they are. So I guess that kind of relief was great for me. But I've had more time to practice because being on the road, you really don't have a lot of time to practice. You just do show after show after show. So you're honing your skills, but you're not developing new ones. So I now have my piano back, and I'll sit at my piano and do vocal lessons. I still go back to a CD from Jeannie Gagne, who was my vocal teacher. And I still refer to my Berklee materials when I'm training my voice. So there's that. I've also got several projects in front of me now, writing projects. I have about 3 or 4 different albums that I'm going to be working on over the rest of the pandemic, if that's fair to say. But yes, I've enjoyed the time. I can't say I've stepped away from the music. I think what I have done is I've engaged more with my fans. I have a fan base that I'm able to connect with and I share with daily. So it's nice to have their support throughout this time.
you're staying busy. That's all we can do, right? Well, I'm really looking forward to those future albums as well. And I know, Jeannie, that was a really nice story to hear that you're still checking out your Berklee stuff. I went to Berklee for undergrad, and I feel like I have enough material to practice for the next 10 years.
So true.
Awesome. Well, it wouldn't be Berklee night at lunch if we didn't talk about lunch. So here in Vermont, it is 10 a.m. So I have not eaten lunch yet. And actually, I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. But yeah, have you eaten lunch yet?
I haven't. I just had breakfast, and I had oatmeal for breakfast, as I do every single day. And I guess I should probably tell you, I'm a vegetarian, and a lifelong one. I've actually never had a cheeseburger, never had a chicken or something like that. My mom was a vegetarian when she was growing me. So
maybe since we just talked about breakfast, this is going to be an interesting one. Are you more of a sweet or savory breakfast person?
Probably sweet. Yeah. Brown sugar, that kind of thing. So
right. You mentioned
fruit
oatmeal
for breakfast.
Yeah. Oatmeal every day kind of person. Secret to life kind of.
Yeah. It keeps the cholesterol down. That's for sure.
Follow-up question to that. What is your favorite type of dessert?
I don't know. I'm kind of losing favorites now. I used to like maybe a cake or something like that, but I don't. I usually just grab chocolate. I mean, that's if there's a chocolate bar, I'll go and kind of nip off of it. So,
one of my favorite questions, especially in this time, is if you could have dinner anywhere in the world tonight, where would you want to go? And it doesn't have to be a restaurant. It'd be, your mother's kitchen table.
Well, let's see. I live with my mom, so I do eat with her every night.
Nice.
We just went to a really great Italian restaurant in Laurel, Mississippi. It's called Mimo's. So I'd probably go back there.
Nice. What did you have there?
I had eggplant parmesan 2
Nice.
days in a row.
Hey, it must have been good.
It was good. Yes.
That's amazing. This next question will probably be interesting, considering your diet. Is there a food or a restaurant that you like that you know that you shouldn't like a guilty pleasure food, like McDonald's or something of that sort?
Oh, well, we have a little pizza place around the corner that I've gone to since I was a little child. It's called Fletcher's Pizza. And I don't know if it's actually a guilty pleasure, but I do like it a lot. And I should tell you too, since you're asking me about food, I actually I mostly eat for my voice. And I know when you go to vocal classes at Berklee, I had to learn about different foods that were acidic and things that would complicate singing. So I've kind of lived by that since Berklee. I have to say I've been cheating, especially during the pandemic, with the coffee. But I'm actually on a blood type diet. And so I'm a type O, and there are certain foods that I eat pretty much daily. It's kind of a routine thing, so that I don't create inflammation when I sing. So,
wow, that's so fascinating. I'm a guitar player, so I don't know what a guitarist diet would be like. But in any case, could you give me an example of something a vocalist might want to avoid or make sure to have in their diet to maintain vocal health?
Okay. Well, I would say, just because it's my philosophy now, that you would have to read the book, Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And in my book, coffee is one of the things I'm not supposed to have. There are certain kinds of fruits that I'm not supposed to eat, but you can eat things that are highly beneficial to you as well. So they act like a medicine. And oatmeal is one of those highly beneficial things for me. Blueberries. There's so many foods, but there's a small book that you can get if you know what your blood type is. And if you eat by that diet, you'll probably, for singers out there, you will probably find that your singing is much improved because you're not dealing with so much inflammation in your throat. So,
can you tell me about a time that you epically failed in the kitchen?
I'm one of those people who could burn water, and I pretty much have. So I've had times where I got sidetracked. I guess it's the absent-minded musician kind of thing. And I've been boiling water and it's gotten all the way down to the bottom. And then I come into the kitchen, I'm like, what's that smell? And it's metal. And it's happened more than once in the same time that I was cooking. So I can't
Oh my gosh.
pass that. But yeah, I make eggs pretty well, and I have gluten-free pasta. That's like my go-to thing. And if that's a guilty pleasure, that must be it. I eat rice pasta usually before I sing because I try to be full when I go and do vocal warm-ups or vocal exercises because it takes me so long and stuff. So
Very cool. Well, it was fascinating learning more about your food life as a vocalist and how intertwined they are. That's so interesting. But yeah, it was such a pleasure to get to virtually meet you. I really hope that you find a reason to come back up to this part of the country and love to see you live at some point.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I probably will be back there in 2021. So